Life for All presents Daily Food Series, The Word of Life, The Fellowship of Life, and Living Stones for the Edification. The Epistles of John and Peter. Book 2, Emotional Resilience by Pedro. Week 1. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Thursday. Fathers, solidity in God and in the Word. Read with prayer. Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above and comes down from the Father of lights, with whom there is no variation or shadow of turning. James chapter 1, verse 17. The second group of brothers and sisters in the church mentioned by John are the fathers. If little children are in the first stage of spiritual life, fathers are in the last stage, that of maturity. In his first epistle, the apostle writes, "I write to you, fathers, because you have known him who is from the beginning. I write to you, young men, because you have overcome the wicked one. I write to you, little children, because you have known the Father." Chapter 2, verse 13. Fathers certainly represent the most matured members in the church, those who truly assume the responsibility of feeding the sheep with the word. They shepherd the flock of God, not as lords over those entrusted to them, but as examples to the flock. 1 Peter chapter 5, verses 2 through 5. The most mature are not necessarily the oldest or those with most biblical knowledge, but those who take on the responsibility of shepherding and caring for the flock of God. They do not care for the flock out of greed or by constraint. They are mature in the divine life, full of life, and driven by it to care for the flock with love. Those who like to have dominance prove that they are not mature. Those who are exemplary models among the brothers and sisters serve as references for the flock. They are the fathers, the mature brothers and sisters. We need these mature brothers and sisters in the church. Fathers are a reference for everyone in the church and provide stability to the house of God. They are firm and absolute in knowing him who is from the beginning. 1 John chapter 2, verse 13a. The verb to know in Greek is in the aorist, a verb form that indicates a past perfect, used to express an action that occurred in the past, but with continued relevance up to the present. This shows that fathers are trustworthy because they have known him who is from the beginning. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. John chapter 1, verses 1 and 2. He, the Word, was in the beginning with God. Fathers, first of all, know that God is from the beginning, and that in him there is no variation or shadow of turning. James chapter 1, verse 17. Whoever truly knows God has a solid and stable foundation within themselves. If the leaders of a church are mature people who know the God who is from the beginning, and in whom there is no variation or shadow of turning, we feel extremely safe with them. On the other hand, hesitant leadership causes a lot of insecurity in the saints, who are left without a reference to guide them. If this leadership tolerates the enemy's action, the brothers and sisters in general suffer harm. Thank God, we have fathers in the church who are solid and firm. The church is like a ship. Every ship needs a ballast at the bottom to give it stability. Thus, the fathers are our ballast, and do not let the waves of the sea capsize the boat, which is the church, which is still in the world and is hated by it. The world produces waves and storms to prevent us from reaching our destination, the kingdom. Therefore, fathers provide us with a sense of security because they know that the power contained in the Word is what accomplishes the work of God. John chapter 14, verse 10. The Word the apostles preached was a demonstration of the Spirit and power, and my speech and my preaching were not with persuasive words of human wisdom, but in demonstration of Spirit and of power. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 4. The Apostle John announced the word of life, which was with the Father and was manifested to us. All who heard and believed in it were brought into the fellowship of life with God and with the church. 1 John chapter 1, verses 1 through 3. This results in a solid ballast for the church to sail like a ship safely into the world in the right direction and not like a boat adrift. Jesus is Lord.